Do you enjoy spending time alone? If you answered yes, then you're in good company. Welcome to a space where we unravel the fascinating traits of those who prefer their own company over the constant chatter of the crowd. Now, before you get any wrong ideas, let's clear this up. Enjoying solitude is not a negative trait, nor does it make you an antisocial hermit. Rather, it's a characteristic of certain personality types. If you often find yourself seeking solitude, it's completely okay. It doesn't mean you're lonely or lack social skills. Instead, it indicates a certain level of self-awareness and contentment within oneself. You might be a deep thinker, a creative soul, or simply someone who values their personal space. And guess what? This is not something to be ashamed of. So are you ready to discover more about yourself? Let's delve into the 12 personality traits that people who enjoy being alone often possess. You might find yourself nodding along. First off, people who enjoy their solitude are often strong-willed. This can be seen as an admirable trait, a testament to their independence and self-reliance. When you're a person who enjoys solitude, you're more likely to stand your ground and not easily sway to the whims of others. You have a clear vision of what you want, and you are determined to get it, no matter what. This strong will is not about being stubborn or obstinate. It's about knowing your worth, understanding your needs, and not compromising on the essential parts of your life. Moving on, let's talk about how these individuals view time. If you're someone who likes to be alone, you probably value your time more than anything else. Time to you is a precious resource that cannot be replenished once it's gone. You understand its value and make sure every moment counts. You're not one to waste time on trivial matters or engage in idle chit-chat. Instead, you prefer spending your time in more meaningful pursuits like reading a book, learning a new skill, or simply reflecting on life's mysteries. Lastly, for this segment, let's delve into empathy. You might not expect it, but people who like to be alone often have high levels of empathy. Despite their preference for solitude, these individuals are very in tune with the emotions and needs of others. They are excellent listeners and observers, often picking up on subtle cues that others might miss. This heightened sense of empathy is often a result of spending time alone in introspection and developing a deeper understanding of oneself. This self-understanding allows them to relate to others on a more profound level. These traits are just the tip of the iceberg. Let's move on to the next ones. Next up, we have intuition. People who enjoy solitude often have a strong intuitive sense. It's like having a built-in compass guiding you through life. This intuitive sense is often sharper in those who prefer their own company, as they spend a considerable amount of time in quiet reflection. By tuning into their inner thoughts and feelings, they're able to make decisions guided by their deep-seated instincts. They don't rely on the opinions and influence of others, which often clouds judgment. Instead, they trust their gut, their inner voice, and it seldom leads them astray. Moving on to the next trait, we have setting healthy boundaries. Now this is a big one. People who like to be alone understand the importance of personal space and respect it, not just for themselves but for others too. They're well aware that their energy is finite, and they choose to invest it wisely. So if you find them saying no to a hangout or choosing a quiet evening over a bustling party, it's not personal. It's just them conserving their energy and preserving their personal space. They're not being rude or antisocial, they're just setting healthy boundaries, which is an essential trait for mental well-being. Lastly, let's talk about being open-minded. It might seem counterintuitive, but those who relish solitude are often the most open-minded individuals. They spend a lot of time in introspection and self-analysis, which allows them to understand different perspectives. They're not confined by societal norms or popular opinion. Instead, they're open to new ideas, cultures, and experiences. They understand that there's more to learn, more to see, and more to experience. Their open-mindedness is a testament to their infinite curiosity and their willingness to grow and evolve. Intriguing, isn't it? Let's continue. Self-awareness is another common trait among those who enjoy their solitude. This is not just about knowing one's favorite ice cream flavor or what type of music gets their foot tapping. Rather, it's an in-depth understanding of one's thoughts, emotions, strengths, weaknesses, and beliefs. It's about knowing why they react a certain way to certain situations or why certain things make them feel a certain way. This heightened self-awareness allows individuals who enjoy being alone to navigate life with a sense of purpose and authenticity. Now let's talk about positivity. Have you ever noticed how people who enjoy their own company always seem to look on the bright side of things? It's as if they have their very own pair of rose-colored glasses. But don't mistake this for naivety or ignorance. These individuals are fully aware of life's challenges. But instead of dwelling on the negatives, they choose to focus on the positives. They see setbacks as opportunities for growth and problems as puzzles waiting to be solved. This optimistic outlook makes them resilient in the face of adversity and inspires others to adopt a similar perspective. Lastly, we have self-sufficiency. This is the ability to confidently rely on oneself without needing constant validation or support from others. People who like to be alone are often very self-sufficient. They enjoy the freedom of making their own decisions and taking responsibility for their actions. They are not afraid to take risks and make mistakes because they view these experiences as valuable lessons rather than failures. This self-sufficiency not only makes them independent, but also contributes to their sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in life. These traits highlight the inner strength and positivity of those who enjoy solitude. Let's explore the last 3 traits. Our list wouldn't be complete without mentioning the creative spirit often found in those who enjoy being alone. Now, onto our 10th trait, creativity. Those who like to be alone often have a wellspring of creativity. Their minds are constantly bubbling with ideas, concepts, and musings. This constant mental activity leads to a rich internal world, one that's filled with imagination and innovation. This creativity isn't just limited to arts and crafts. It might also manifest in problem-solving, strategizing, or even dreaming up new ways to organize a space. Moving on to trait number 11, loyalty. Loners, despite their preference for solitude, are fiercely loyal when they do form connections. Their friendships might be few, but they are deep and meaningful. If a loner considers you a friend, you can bet they'll stand by your side through thick and thin. This loyalty extends to their principles as well. They're not easily swayed by popular opinion and will steadfastly cling to their beliefs, even when faced with opposition. Finally, trait number 12, comfort in their own thoughts. People who like to be alone are comfortable with their own thoughts. They don't need constant stimulation from the outside world to feel content. They can happily spend hours in their own company, thinking, dreaming, and reflecting. This comfort with solitude often leads to a strong sense of self-awareness and introspection. It allows them to deeply understand themselves, their motivations, and their desires. These traits round out our list. But what does all this mean? Let's summarize. So, we've explored the 12 special personality traits found in people who enjoy solitude. These individuals, who we lovingly call loners, are strong-willed with an inherent respect for time. They harbor a deep sense of empathy, guided by their intuition. They have healthy boundaries and are open-minded. These loners are self-aware, recognizing their strengths and weaknesses, and always manage to find the silver lining, no matter the situation. These aren't just traits, they're strengths. Embracing solitude is not a negative trait but a sign of self-sufficiency and introspection. If you see yourself in these traits, take a moment to appreciate your uniqueness, your ability to enjoy your own company, and the strength you derive from solitude. There's absolutely no need to feel guilty or strange about it. Enjoying solitude doesn't mean you're lonely, it just means you're in wonderful company, your own. So keep enjoying your me time because it's a sign of your unique personality strengths.